Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is Niladri Mukherjee and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice here in Guelph, Ontario, and I'm also the founder director of Nuvonation Immigration Consulting. So today I thought to talk about how you really research about immigration to Canada. If you're to research on that on internet, right? There is a plethora of information available on YouTube, like thousands and thousands of videos, if not millions of millions. A lot of information available on the internet. There are a lot of immigration firms that are trying to teach you about immigration with some objective or other in mind. I don't know. But as an aspirant of immigration to Canada, or maybe as a potential aspirant of immigration to Canada, how do you really know what is correct and what is incorrect, right? So no matter whatever we say on YouTube or whatever anybody says on YouTube, it is your life, it is your immigration, and hence the onus really lies on you to check the authenticity of the information before applying that onto your personal circumstance, right? Please kindly understand that the Immigration Refugee Protection Act of 2002 and the associated regulations of Canada are the fundamental driving forces for Canada's immigration. So whatever you do on your immigration to Canada, for example, you're applying for an express entry profile, you're trying to create an express entry profile, you are already in the pool maybe, or you're applying for some provincial nominee program. There are relevant sections of the law that talks about all those things, and there is some fundamental process of going for each and everything. The government of Canada tries its best to give as much information as possible through its website for public consumption, but the government also tells you that you cannot really, and you probably should not use those information for your personal usage unless and until you read the law and the regulations. And in my desk, I always have this book handy. This is the Canada's driving forces of the law and the regulations. You really do not have to purchase this book, but what you can really do is that you can download the immigration law and the regulations from the Justice Canada website, and whenever you see an information or any pieces of information on the internet, really do not rely on that blindfoldedly. You should read the relevant sections of the law to see whether that information is correct or incorrect. I thought to make this video because to me personally, this is quite a dangerous trend that anybody and everybody is really talking about immigration these days on YouTube without really having a background, right? When I become a consultant, a licensed immigration consultant, I had to go back to school, study a 500 hours course, have to clear multiple modules, then have to appear in IELTS, had to score mandatorily CLB 9, then had to appear for one of the toughest exams of my life, which was the entry to practice exam. Had to clear that, have to go for fingerprinting, RCMP police check, whatnot, and then finally got my license. The process took me over 2 years, close to, and this is not only for me, this is for anybody and everybody that really undergoes this licensing process. So what I meant by that is, when I'm saying something, I may have some basis to it because I have read the law, I have read the regulations. If somebody that is not licensed, that have absolutely nothing to do with immigration to Canada, might have made it to Canada through express entry system on their own, then they're telling you how you can do that on your own too. This is sort of a tricky to me, because if something has worked for that person XYZ, it might not be the case for you. And if you take somebody's sort of advice available on the internet without really reading the law and the regulations, you might be at a loss, right? Because people will have a big disclaimer on their website, on the YouTube channel, saying that whatever we are saying are for general consumption and you should not use these as a legal advice. But you are not really reading those fine print and maybe trying to do like trying to apply those advice onto your personal case. You should not do that. Always read the law, always read the regulations, and use your logical bent of mind before you're doing anything and everything to do with Canadian immigration. You might be super confident in doing everything on your own. Go ahead and do that if you're confident. You might not be that confident and you might need a professional help. In that case, make sure you always reach out to a licensed immigration consultant or an immigration lawyer. And never ever rely on this information available on social media, the free information available on social media, and then create a mess out of the situation. Always remember that, be it an express entry profile, be it a study visa, or anything and everything, once you're applying that, once you're doing it something for the first time, that is your best time. If you do a little bit of mistakes, and if that mistake lead to the rejection, rectifying that mistake and getting you an approval is that much difficult, no matter how strong your profile is. Sometimes it could be as simple as like uploading a basic, like fail to uploading a basic document. Sometimes it is your name, how your name appears on the passport and your birth certificate may be different, and then the officers have no choice but to reject the application, because that is how the law permits them, to process an application in that way. So always make sure to research properly, study properly, and it is always the best practice, if you are not working with anybody, to read the law and the regulations. It is one thing to listen to information in silos, maybe watching a couple of YouTube videos and then trying to make your inference in silos. It is yet another thing to jot down everything on your own, and then based on those information and then trying to submit a foolproof application. If there is the slightest of mistake, that can potentially lead to a dangerous conclusion. And I will rather talk about myself as well. Like whatever I talk about in these videos, you really have the right to verify each and everything with respect to the relevant sections of the law and the regulations, because everything is available on public consumption. What the consultants do, or what the lawyers do, is that they are really proficient in the law and regulations. At least they should be, right? Which is why they have cleared those exams and doing what they're doing. So if something is coming from a licensed consultant or a lawyer, to me that would give more value rather than something coming from anybody and everybody that have no knowledge about immigration. It is something like, I bought a house in Canada and now I consider myself as somebody that can give advice on buying house to Canada. Something that might have done may have worked in my personal circumstance. That does not really mean that is going to work on your case, right? So that is what the whole purpose of the video. Be safe, stay safe, read the fine prints, read everything in totality. And if you are an aspirant of immigration to Canada, if you're in the pool, and if you are already applying to for the provincial nominee programs or for the study permit or anything and everything, and if you're doing things on your own, make sure you read the law and the regulations, and never ever take a step without those two things, because that could potentially lead to a problem which would which may be a little bit difficult to rectify if things are not done properly at the first step. So let me know if I could be of any professional assistance. Send me an email at contact@nuvonation.ca if you need my professional assistance, and I will be more than happy to help. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.